Hello again painters, it's Debbie from acrylicpouring.com, back again today with a break from my usual schedule for another YouTube collaboration with some of my other YouTube painting buddies on here. So our challenge this time was to use primary colours, except primary colours with a difference. This time we're using yellow, cyan and magenta, and I'm going to put a link on my blog, so hop on over to a very interesting video that prompted this discussion within our YouTube team and gave rise to this challenge today. Basically all about primary colours, colour mixing, and how magenta, yellow and cyan were the true primaries when it comes to mixing colours. So with that in mind, our challenge for today is to use these three colours. Magenta, I've got the magenta is Art Alternatives, just magenta. Then I have the yellow, which is a Blick Student Acrylic in chrome yellow. Then the nearest I could come to what looks like a cyan to me was the Liquitex Basics, and I just cannot pronounce this word, cerulean. I have no idea. If you can pronounce it, please let me know. Give me an idea how to pronounce this. Cerulean Blue, Liquitex Basics. And then we can use a solid background, because it has to be a negative space pour with white or black. So I've got my colours here ready mixed. The magenta is in one of my squeeze bottles. This is ready mixed, so this one has a drop or two of silicone in it. My white was left over from a previous project, and this whole cup was pretty much full with paint and only had one drop of silicone, so there's very little in the white. The blue, I've got very little blue paint, so I'm not going to put anything in there. And the yellow, this was the silicone oil that I used, the treadmill belt lubricant, so that's in the white and the magenta. And in the yellow, I'm going to use the KY True Feel, which is 100% dimethicone. And I'm going to put, carefully, 2 drops. And then give that a little stir around. So that basically we've got a little bit of everything going on. We've got some paint without any, we've got some paint with dimethicone, some paint with silicone. But really very little in all of them, because too much of the silicone oils and you find that your paint doesn't stick well to the canvas. You get little blank spots, and I don't want that today. So I thought what I would do is a flip cup with these three colours and some white, and then what I want to do is kind of stretch it across on a diagonal. So I'm going to do a flip cup, and then I'm going to tilt it across the diagonal and fill in with white on the sides for my negative space. So I've gone ahead and prepared the canvas just by painting it white in advance. I've painted the sides, and now I've gone and stuck a dirty finger in there, it seems, but no worries, I'll take care of it. So that in the event that things don't spread out too much, my sides of the canvas and the corners are already covered, and I take a little bit of pressure off that I have to tilt. So the first thing I think will be to set up the flip cup, and then I'll fill in with a little bit of white, and we'll see how it goes. So let's see, let's pour a little bit of this one into the cup to start, and then I think normally what I do with the flips is I pour from up high and I mix everything up. I think today I'm going to try and do it differently, and I'm just going to gently layer the colours so that they almost sit on top. So there we go, I've got a little layer of blue now sat on top. If I put too much white, I'm going to end up with too much flip. So let's go straight ahead and put some of this chrome yellow gently right on top of that blue. There we go. I can already see some of that turn into green, so that's interesting. Oops, don't want to get much yellow over here in case it ends up in the area that I want to be white later on. Let's see. And then the magenta, again, I should be able to gently dribble some magenta on the top. So now basically the colours aren't that mixed, they're in layers, so we'll see what this also does to our flip cup, which will be interesting. And now I'll just a little bit more white in there, And because they are layered, I'm just going to give it one quick stir. So there we go, that's it for the stirring. Put that to one side. And now, whoops, I had a little bit escape just there. The colours look nice though. So I'm just going to sit that there, and now I want to fill in a little bit with some of this white that I've got, because I want the two sides here to be white. So we'll see. Whoops, oh my goodness, I've knocked it and it's escaping. Oh, it's kind of floating on a bed of paint now, so it's escaping on its own. Oh goodness, now I'm doing it one-handed. Not sure if I've got enough white. I've got a little bit in a squeezy bottle here from a previous project, so let me throw some of that on there. I've got to keep my fingers on this cup or it's coming off. Okay, let's throw a bit of that on there. We'll see if that's enough. Looks nice here though. I'm happy with these colours. Right, so let's flip and let this, oh, there's loads of paint. I've got too much paint. Probably not going to end up with much negative space now. Okay, well I can tip a load off these corners because I'm going to try and do it in a diagonal. So we'll see what happens. Oh, that's just glorious. That is lovely. Even this little section here where it's kind of messed up. Really lovely colours. I've got a lot of green. Look at all that green. That's of course where I put the yellow and the blue together. I'm never a big fan of green. I don't seem to do well with green in my pours. It always, I don't know, it just never sits right with me. So let's start with our diagonal. I'm going to try and aim this right towards this corner. And whoop. Okay. And now, that was probably a bit too fast. I don't know why I was doing that. I was crazy there to do it as fast as that. There's no need for that craziness, was there? The colours look good though. Now I'll gently pour it back to this other corner. There we are, that's more gentle. Don't know what I was thinking. Okay, there's a lot of green. Not sure I like the green. Okay, so now, in order for there to be a lot of negative space, I really don't want to tip it too far towards the corners, because I think I'll end up pouring off a lot of the white and ending up no negative space left. So I'm going to fill in, I think, and then I can use my palette knife to spread out this white paint. Luckily, of course, I've got the canvas already prepared, so I don't have to worry too much about things going off the side because it's already well painted. So where's my palette knife? There we go. So now I'm just going to gently spread the white out. And of course we don't want paint too thick, because if you leave it too thick on the canvas it's going to crack anyway. So I can just gently put my knife right up to the edge of that colour and swipe the white away so that it's not too thick there. And I think that's going to work out. Now I've got quite a bit where it's spread out there, so I think that's good. Don't need to make it too thin, but at the same time I want to try and create a nice smooth finish so that when it dries the white looks nice and smooth. Okay, let's do the same over this side. I've got some paper just down on my surface today, so all this white, I'm actually going to be able to just pick that up in a minute, and I'll pop it back in the cup or put it back in a squeezy bottle. I'll have it for another project, so nothing is wasted. Okay. Whoop, a little bit too heavy-handed with the palette knife. I think we are good. So I just need to touch up a little bit in these corners. I've got some beautiful drips, so that's not a problem. Those can go straight in the corner with the knife there. Let's pop round to this other side. And I've got some green, lots of green. Why do I always end up with so much green? I should have thought of that, shouldn't I? Every time, I don't know, every time it happens. I use blue and yellow and I put them together and make green, and every time I go, oh, where did all that green come from? Clearly I'm an idiot when it comes to colour mixing. Anyway, that looks really nice. I've got plenty of yellow in there, and the way the magenta is kind of out on the edges looks good. There's still blue, there's lots of green, but it's not overpoweringly green. So I think these three colours, if you want to use something nice and bright and colourful, the chrome yellow, this mystery, however you pronounce it, blue, and the magenta can go really nice. But maybe if you don't want the green, obviously don't put the yellow and blue together like I did. So I will bring you down and show you some of these lovely details. So before we look at the painting, I just want to show you this cup. Oh, it's like heaven in a cup, that is. That is really beautiful. Don't you wish you could dry these somehow and just do something with the cups? I don't know, maybe turn them into some kind of candle holder or something, so you could put a candle in the bottom and it would kind of glow. Actually, maybe I should try that. Maybe I should just save this cup and see what happens, and see what happens when it dries. Yeah, because it looks really pretty from the outside too. Got lots of, you know, lovely colours on the outside as well as the inside. So I'm going to save this cup. I'll put it to one side and show you in the end what comes from that. But anyway, let's take a look at the painting. There it is, and I'm really absolutely delighted with that. I would not have normally just put those three colours together, because I know that working with primary colours can be difficult. You end up with just like the mud or brown or whatever, but that's turned out really well. So it's really nice coming down over the sides, and yeah, just glorious. The colours are lovely. As I'm leaving it, the magenta is actually becoming a little bit more prominent, which is nice, because it actually, I think the magenta actually looks really good with the green, and the green is growing on me. I think because it's a very yellowy green, plus the green's broken up a lot with the blue, so it looks good. And the way the magenta's feathering out on the sides there, yeah, I'm delighted. So thank you girls for the challenge, because this could soon become one of my favourite paintings, I think. So if you can hang around, I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. And if you have a look on the video on YouTube, I'm going to put in the video description underneath the links to all of the other challenge videos in this series. There's lots of them to look at, and we're all going to be using this lovely bright palette. So I think you're going to enjoy some really, really lovely paintings this time. And of course, there's nothing really difficult in any of the techniques we're using today. We're all going to be using something a little bit different. So I hope you'll be inspired to paint yourself. We do have a hashtag, so have a look at the hashtag. Again, I'll put that in the description. And if you do any paintings of your own, then tag us if you're going to share it in any of our Facebook groups or anything, or put it on social media and tag us, or use the hashtag, and we'll be delighted to come over and see the work that's been inspired by this challenge. So hang on, I'm going to show what it looks like when it's finished. So here it is, glossed, varnished, finished, all shiny, dry, and ready to go off to its new home. So thank you very much for watching with this YouTube challenge. There's going to be links underneath the video if you're watching it on YouTube, so click over into the description, click the little down arrow or the see more in the description, and you'll be able to get links to all of the other videos that are taking part in this challenge. And if you want to take part in the challenge, we'd be delighted if you join us. Just use our hashtag and we will hopefully find and comment on your video too. Thanks very much for joining us.